Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 7 of the Weeb Couch podcast, the last Weeb Couch episode of 2020. It's been quite a year, people. Quite a year.
Not necessarily good or bad. It's been a year, alright.
It's been a year, and
Been a
all we
year.
can do now is look back. And that's what we're going to be doing this episode. We're going to be looking at the very best and also the very worst to come out of 2020. So this is a special episode. It's probably going to be a long one, so strap yourselves in. So today, we'll be covering the best and worst anime of this year, the best and worst games of this year, and the best and worst films of this year. We won't be touching on manga or comics today, mainly because that would just make the video so long, and mainly because we didn't really read enough from this year. I think this year has mainly been a retrospective year, looking back on the classics. Although I would like to give a shout out to Dark Knight's Death Metal, finishing in January, so now is the perfect time to pick up that comic series. Very, very good. But apart from that, I see no reason why we can't just get into the anime, right, Dan?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I should probably mention before we start, for anime, games, and movies, we've divided each one into 6 genres. So we'll give you our 6 best picks, and then our 6 worst picks for each one, depending on the genre. So for anime, our genres are shonen, seinen, slice of life, action, isekai, and romance. So, hope that's a little bit of a spread. Hopefully you'll find something in there that you'll like, and hopefully you'll find something in there to steer clear of. And we've each got our own picks for this. I've got some, Dan's got some. So you're basically getting 12 for each category.
Oh, how lucky.
How lucky you are. So I think I'll just start with my pick. Also, we don't know each other's picks, so this is going to be interesting. I always do like a list, so it's going to be interesting to see what you say, Dan.
Yeah,
but
that's for you.
Yeah, I'm just going to start off with my best shonen of 2020 is The God of High School. Very, very popular anime. Coming from, sort of the summer of this year, around July, August-ish. But I've only recently started watching it. I've recently finished it. And it's it's brilliant, You know how you get the tournament arcs in Major Shonen? You got the Chunin exams for Naruto, or, the World Martial Arts Tournament in Dragon Ball, you got all that. The God of High School is basically just that, but its own show. So it's based off a Korean webtoon, based in Korea, and basically it's a giant tournament where high school students from all around the country come together in this massive mixed martial arts battle, and the winner, the last one standing, gets any wish they want granted. And we have our main characters, and each of them has a different martial arts style. You've got our main character, who does a form of jiu-jitsu, I believe, and he's all over the place. It helps as well that the animation for this show is absolutely brilliant. No CG, and it's all hand-drawn, and you can tell that the creators have put their time into researching all of these different art styles and all of these different martial arts styles that the characters are using. You've got a girl that uses a sword stance. I think it's called the Moonlight Blade stance, which is like a really, really little known Japanese sword style. But from what I've seen, they get extremely accurate. And you get your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, who I really, really like, who sort of uses his legs. He's sort of kicking and jumping, that sort of thing. And you have Tai Chi Man, who is all about, finding the weak spots in the opponent, stuff like that. So each character has their gimmick, because it is a shonen. and each character has, their one ability, and it's super cool, Not a character-based show, I would say, and it does wear its shonen influences on its sleeve. Our main character is essentially Goku. He has the same personality, the same, he loves to eat, he loves to fight, he doesn't really care about the wish he gets at the end, he just wants to fight strong people, that sort of thing. And then you have your Todoroki from My Hero Academia. So yeah, it's clear where it comes from, but that doesn't really take away from the quality, I think, in my opinion. It's a Crunchyroll original series, which is the only one I've ever heard of. And I remember it had a massive release. It was very very highly advertised upon its release. So yeah, I can't really say much without getting to spoilers, because the tournament sort of goes as a jumping off point for a much bigger story that spans. It's like a big world building story. I don't think there will be a season 2. There is only 12 episodes, and God of High School, it's enjoyable. It won't make you think too much. It's just a cool martial arts anime, and I personally really love martial arts anime, especially when they get it right. So yeah, go and check it out. It's very fun. And Dan, let's hear your pick for the best shonen.
Okay. I'm gonna preface this. For me, best and worst on this doesn't mean the very top. I'm terrible with stuff like this. So if you see an anime or game or movie that is either the best or the worst, that doesn't make it the bottom of the barrel. That just means in my things, it's bad. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. This is but yeah. I should have prefaced this by saying this is all our opinion.
Yeah.
So please don't attack us for it. This is just what we think.
Exactly. Okay. So for my shonen, surprised it's even a shonen, I went for Beast Stars.
Yeah.
Now, it's very enjoyable. I'm not a furry, gonna preface that.
You don't have to be a furry to enjoy Beast Stars. I know a lot of people think that, but it's a good show in its own right.
Yeah, like I just came because it piqued my interest in, like, it was similar to Zootopia in a way. And Zootopia is a great movie.
Yeah.
And so it piqued my interest with that. I was like, okay, something similar on that lines. But just like Zootopia, it keeps you in with its story, because I fucking loved its story, man.
Uh-huh.
It is, like, genuinely, like, heartbreaking at times, very, very wholesome at others, and, like Zootopia, a good representation of, like, society and shit like that, Yeah. And I know that's a big, funny, haha, society, we live in a society meme, but, like, seriously, it's pretty well with that, with, like, human trafficking and shit like that.
Yeah, it is definitely like Zootopia for adults.
Yeah,
it is definitely like what Zootopia wanted to be. It definitely reaches to more of the mature issues in society.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, this guy, I'll tell you one part, without giving spoilers. This one character, he's a panda, right?
Yeah. Best character, by the way.
Oh, he's so...
Yeah, he's so good.
And he's fighting with someone, I won't say what it has anything to do with, because that would be spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy is intentionally punching his nose, and the panda says in his head that he's intentionally punching my nose because he knows that that's where a bear's weakness is. That's where all the nerves are, like the nerve ends, and it causes them to be really, like, sensitive, and that's where it hurts the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like with a shark, because you can pat them on the nose, and they'll, like, like swim away because it's
they'll walk away.
You know what I mean, though? Yeah. And I like that because it's exactly true. Yeah.
Yeah.
You would go for someone's weak spot like that if it was in that kind of universe, And I do like that. Yeah, it's kind of I think it's kind of graphic in some things.
Yeah, there's some blood, I guess.
Yeah, it's some blood, some like sexual references.
Yeah, nothing like explicit though.
No, exactly not. But it's like intention.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. Funny scene from episode 1. Definitely should, it's hilarious. But yeah, it's fun, very fun, until halfway through when it gets kind of dark, and then it turns. I was like, oh, this is a shonen. I can see why this is a shonen. To, how is this a shonen? It feels more like a seinen to me,
Yeah.
but we'll see how it is.
Yep.
Death. I know people die in Naruto. Fuck off.
But no one
yeah,
dies in Dragon Ball.
Of course not. Why would they? It's Naruto. It's age 8. It's aimed for 10-year-olds. Dragon Ball's 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would highly recommend it if you like Zootopia and want a more like adult-esque show.
Yeah.
I'd highly recommend it. The art style is very unique, being like 3D but not over the top.
Yeah. It's like it's 3D, like cell shaded, so it's sort of emulating 2D style. It's really cleverly done.
And the voice acting, I fucking love the voice acting.
Yeah.
I know the dub's okay as well.
The dub is actually pretty good. Yeah.
I know the dubbed voice actor for the main guy. He's on YouTube actually.
Yeah.
But I watched it sub, and I did not regret watching it in sub. Once again, the voice acting in this is actually really, really good. So definitely give it a watch if you like Zootopia.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
And now's the perfect time to give it a watch because season 2 drops in January.
So it would.
Yeah.
So
you can bet we'll be covering that at some point when the season's finished.
Definitely. I'll watch it as soon as it comes on.
Yeah.
I think I watched it in one sitting, like Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So there are our picks for the best shonen of 2020. So we're moving on to seinen. So anime that are aimed at a slightly older audience. And my pick for the best seinen is sort of a niche show. I don't think many people know about this. Called Gleipnir. Very, very little known show. It sort of centers around, your classic anime protagonist, the nerdy, introverted, social outcast guy who gets approached by this hot girl, and it turns out, like, I won't get into spoilers, but things conspire, things occur, and it turns out that our main character can turn into a, like, dog flesh mecha for the girl to pilot, and they're not the only ones, and it's like it's a mecha anime, but the robots aren't giant and they're made of flesh, sort of like Attack on Titan but with regular sized people. It's very strange. If I didn't make it sound strange from that description, I can tell you it's very strange. But it is very graphic as well. It's extremely gory, and there's a lot of profanity and sexual stuff. But I really enjoyed it because the story is super cool. It's like
I remember you were talking to me about this when you were while you were watching it, like
it sort of dropped in about April, I think, earlier this year.
Seems so weird to me, the premise.
Yeah, it is so strange, but it's extremely enjoyable and it's worth a watch. It's only 12 episodes. I think the manga I don't think is finished yet, but I don't think a series 2 has been confirmed yet, which is a shame, because it is very, very good and a lot of people like it. The few people who have heard of it do very, very much like it. It's sort of like the Monogatari series.
Hey, and for the few that stayed.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I can't. Once again, it's quite story heavy, so I can't really give too much away. But Gleipnir, give it a watch. It's on Crunchyroll. The opening also slaps. It's very good.
Sweet.
Done.
So for my favorite seinen, it's you'll be surprised that it's not in the romance category, but I thought, fuck it, I've already have a good romance in there, may as well put this here.
Yep.
So mine is Kaguya-sama Love is War.
Yes.
It is amazing.
So good.
Hilarious. season 2 came out this year. So funny.
Yeah.
Basic premise is this pseudo council president and vice president. They like appear to be this perfect couple for each other, right? And the only problem is they're both too proud to confess their love.
Yep.
And so most of the show is them just like coming up with specific schemes in order to make the other confess. It is super funny.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, I don't want to get impressed. Oh, will they ever date? Will they not? That's for you to find out, bitches. Watch it. But yeah, it is extremely funny. The characters in it are amazing. Home to. I wouldn't say best girl, but she's definitely up there. Chica.
Yeah, she is definitely top 5. I'd say.
Yep, with her amazing ending performance.
Mm-hmm.
Quality.
Are you talking about the rap?
I'm talking. Actually, no. Oh wait, no, not that. I'm talking about the ending song.
Yeah, but she also has a great rap, which is hilarious.
Yes, I've seen. Yeah, the rap is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super good. Also a bit of slice of life in there as well. You know me, love a good slice of life.
Yep.
Bring you down to earth. It's also, like I said, it's a romance. Duh. It's a romance, but it ain't corny. It's actually really funny and really cute. So, and I think it's that simple, really.
Yeah.
It's just. I don't think it's that long.
No, I think each season is 12 episodes, I believe, or 24.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't really remember.
But yeah, I would highly recommend giving this a watch if you like slice of life, romance, and or comedy, because it is genuinely funny.
Yeah.
I've laughed on several occasions. It's amazing. Give us a season 3.
Definitely.
Better.
Yeah.
Because the manga is still going.
Yeah, the manga's ongoing. Yep.
So, come on, man, do it.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's all I have to say. Really, it's not as in deep, but yeah.
Yeah, great.
I recommend it.
Okay, so we're moving on to our best slice of life anime, and mine is a very, very controversial series that
shit.
Caused a lot of uproar when it was first released this year.
I wonder what this is.
It released in July, and yep, the main character, the titular character, caused a lot of controversy among the community, but I think the controversy is unfounded and dumb because it's a great show, and that show is Uzaki-chan Just Wants to Hang Out. What a great slice of life show this is, and I have to thank Dan for putting me onto this because he actually told me that this exists,
and I told him about the controversies that arise from it.
Yes, and it is great. So basically focuses on some college students, one called Hana Uzaki and one called Shinichi Sakurai. So Sakurai is Uzaki's upperclassman, and they used to be like best friends in high school. But when she sort of catches up to him in college, she finds out that he's sort of turned into this loner, sort of edgy guy. So nothing like the guy she knew. So the whole show is basically her coming up with weird schemes to get him to like hang out and have fun with her, and trying to get the old Sakurai back. And it's really as simple as that, you know. A lot of people think that they're a couple, but there's there's sort of a romantic undertone to it, but it's just a friendship comedy basically, and the jokes land. The dialogue is very good, and yeah, it's just great. There's really not much to say about it, because it isn't really a plot heavy. It's very episodic. You know, each episode is sort of its own thing, and it's a good little seasonal anime to get into. I believe a second series has been confirmed, but don't quote me on that.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I could definitely see there is more material for this, and I would really hope that more does come out of it. And as a slice of life, Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out is definitely up there with the greats, you know, Toradora, Hajimete no Gal, that sort of thing. You know, it's up there, and it's really good. I would highly recommend it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that'll lead me on to my favorite slice of life. I mean, seeming as though I was the one who brought you onto it,
Yeah.
you can probably guess which one my favorite was too.
Oh, did you get the same?
I got the exact same one.
Oh my god, yes. Yes.
It's everything that Mason said twice.
Yeah.
It is amazing. It's
so
so
funny.
much fun.
Yeah.
Like, and she's got some serious honkers, so it's
Some,
amazing.
yeah, some
It's
badonkers. That was the focus of the controversy, really, but, you know.
Yep, because the thing
Let
is...
her have him. Let her have him.
Yeah, main thing is, it was, she's very not proportional to a real woman. And because she's got massive badonkers, but she's short, and she also looks childlike.
But this is a
But the thing is,
cartoon.
The thing is though, that's just the anime. That's just the art style.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to look childlike. It's just that they have rounder faces. They just less detail.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
she's just short.
It's such a stupid. Yeah, it's such a stupid controversy, and
and Mason's again. Yes, this is an anime. You can do what you want.
Yeah.
Who goddamn cares? You've got JoJo's making every man feel self-conscious about their body.
Exactly.
Why can't this be the same?
Yeah.
You know? So you just
So
exactly.
that's double incentive for you to watch this show. It's great.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah. So that moves us swiftly on then to the action anime, best action anime. So I know this has a lot of crossover with the shonen genre because shonen is usually known for the action, but this is something that is focused on pretty much all action. And my pick is very, very popular at the moment. It's ongoing. It started in October. It's still airing. I think it's about halfway through its run, and that is Jujutsu Kaisen, or Sorcery Fight. Very, very famous manga, even before it was made into an anime, and now the anime has sort of reignited the fame. It sort of focuses on this guy who so they live in a world where sort of the paranormal is it's known about, you know, supernatural things are just considered normal. And our main character, Yuji Itadori, accidentally puts a curse upon himself. He swallows a cursed item, and then it lets him see curses, which are like evil spirits basically that have taken over humans, and so it's sort of like a stand from JoJo. Now that he's swallowed a curse, he can see curses. So he is enrolled in the Jujutsu Technical High School, which is basically just a school where people learn spells and sorcery in order to take down the curses. And you know, I'm only, I think, 7 or 8 episodes into it right now, and there are 13 episodes out currently. But I'm really enjoying it. The teacher character, which is Satoru Gojo, is already making waves in the anime community as like one of the best sort of tutor characters in anime. You know, up there with Kakashi from Naruto, and I could definitely see that. The animation's really good. Some of the spells are really well drawn and stuff like that. And yes, it's ongoing. It's the perfect time for you to jump on. And yeah, if you haven't already heard of the manga, which I know it's quite a famous manga, definitely pick up the anime, because I do feel like it is slightly better in terms of, you know, all these big fighting anime I usually think are better in an anime form because you can't really convey that on a still image. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, very cool. Pick it up.
Definitely. I actually haven't heard of it, so
yeah,
I definitely might do the same.
Yeah, it's pretty much a modern day Naruto, but I do think it is better than the original Naruto, in my opinion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that leads us onto my favorite action, which I don't actually know. I don't think you would have guessed this, Mason,
Okay.
and I don't even think you may have known I knew this.
Okay.
But I have secretly loved this anime. It's called A Certain Scientific Railgun.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yes,
I've heard of this. I haven't actually seen this, so
it is amazing.
great.
And specifically, I know this came out originally a while back, but the third season came up this year, so I'm talking about it. So fuck you, it counts.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, I get that.
Exactly. It pretty much it follows hold on, give me a second. Yes. So they're in this futuristic academic city, which is made up of like 80% students, and many of those people are espers, which possess unique psychic powers. And the main girl, amazing girl, like so fucking hilarious.
Right.
She is an electromaster who is the third strongest of a mere 7 espers who have been given the rank of level 5. So she's pretty strong.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty much entire anime just focuses on her and her friends doing random shit, big battles, like it mixes between big battles and just slice of life going out with friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's genuinely really cool. And the effects are pretty cool as well. They look really good. Like the manga is luckily still going. So possibly a season 4 will be coming out in like the next like year or two, definitely. Which would hope so, but I wouldn't count on it being that early because it did take them 7 years to get another season out. So not gonna worry about that. But yeah, it's some good waifu material in there as well. So definitely just give it a watch if love action, love just a little bit slice of life in there, and just an all round nice time really.
Yeah.
Great.
Big action. Yeah, check it out. I've heard about this series for a while, and I've never actually started watching it, but if you say it's good, I'm gonna have to dive into that pretty soon.
Do it.
Yeah. Okay, on to our best picks for isekai, which is my least favorite genre of anime, which surprised me that I liked my pick so much. My pick is Kuma 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 Bear. And it only just finished. It finished the week that we're recording this on December 23rd.
Oh, wow.
And it's so for anyone who doesn't know, isekai basically refers to our main character being sucked into a fantasy world or a video game world, and playing by that world's rules. And this anime focuses on Yuna, who is our main character, and her favorite thing to do is to just stay inside all day and play this MMO game. And she receives a gift on this MMO game of this like bear like onesie type thing, this like bear bodysuit, and it's got like the maximum stats. It's like completely overpowered, but she's like, I'm not gonna wear that because it's way too embarrassing, and it just looks stupid. So and then suddenly she is sucked into the game's world with the bear suit on, and it's her job to get back into the real world by defeating the final boss. So pretty standard isekai setup. So the main character is very, very overpowered, obviously, because this bear suit that she has on has all the max stats. So it's sort of like One Punch Man, where our main character is super powerful and gets into these massive battles, but that's not really the focus. It is more character driven, and it's very funny. The character interactions between Yuna and the different characters in the world is really cool. She sort of just acts like a fangirl for most of it because it's like her favorite game. Like anyone would if they got sucked into their favorite game. And yeah, if you're a fan of isekai, you'll probably really, really like this. And even if you're not a fan of the genre, like I'm not a fan, I still found it quite enjoyable. So yeah, that's all I really have to say on it. Surprisingly good.
Sweet. Right. With my favorite isekai, not really much of a. I mean, I can kind of be a fan, but it really depends. But this one, I'm giving another excuse because the second season's dub came out in 2020, but it came out before that. But you know, these are our rules. We can do what we want.
Exactly, yeah.
And that anime is Konosuba.
Nice.
Holy shit, is it hilarious?
Yes.
It's genuinely so funny. The way that it starts, oh my god. I'm just gonna tell you like the way it starts because it is genuinely hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much, this guy died, right? He died,
Mm-hmm.
and so he wakes up in this like blank space with a goddess walking towards him, and she's like got a bag of crisps in her hand, saying that, "Yo, you died, buddy." Then takes a look at his death, and I don't remember exactly how he dies, but he died in a really embarrassing way that he pissed his pants after he died. And she's showing him on like a live feed of like people around his body where he's just pissed his pants. And she's laughing at him. And then she's like, "Oh, do you want a second chance?" Like, "Yeah, go on then." And so they go off to this like fantasy land, pick up a couple of good waifus that you've got Darkness, the masochistic knight. Don't ask, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't remember the witch girl. What
Megumin.
Megumin, how could I forget?
Yeah.
She's like the best girl.
Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Megumin. She's hilarious. Her magic is explosive magic. It only explosive magic can be very useful and not so in most situations. And then the biggest side character is Aqua, the goddess that greeted him. She's a lesser known goddess.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just say this: it is a good version of Danmachi. That's all I'm gonna say. If you want to watch Danmachi, don't watch Konosuba instead.
Yeah.
It is just so much better. Same principle with gods and goddesses, but just do it. It is so much funnier. The action is actually really cool. Its premise is amazing. With its characters not being perfect, and I like that.
Yeah.
Characters aren't supposed to be perfect,
Yeah.
and also it going up the really pervy like character. Him actually not getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
He's like, unlike Meliodas, he's actually like seen as genuinely weird.
Yeah. Definitely.
Unless everybody is drunk along with him.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. But I would highly recommend watching it in either dub or sub, because I will say this: the dub is also
Yeah.
just like Beastars, great. It is actually good. But you know me, sub is just I just prefer it. But yeah, highly recommend watching it. Super funny. It finished a while back, but like last year, maybe 2 years ago, I can't remember. But the dub came out earlier this year. Highly recommend watching it. One of like the best isekais there is.
Nice.
So fucking
Brilliant. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, on to our best picks for romance anime. Pretty slim pickings this year, although there was one series that stood out to me as being extremely good. And don't be fooled by the title, okay?
Oh no.
It's called Rent a Girlfriend. And
Wait, is that supposed to be really shit?
no, it's brilliant, okay? I know a lot of people dislike it because of again, controversy about the subject matter, like the plot, despite this being a real thing that happens in Japan. Like, it's completely legal.
Yes, you can just like buy some. There aren't no, like streets where like guys are holding up signs, whereas like
Yeah,
if you marry me, I'll give you this amount of money.
yeah, and it's completely legal. It's like
Yeah,
it's nothing shady about it.
yeah, as it
And
should,
yeah,
as it you know.
yeah.
That's
So this anime pretty much follows our main character. He's a 20-year-old guy who has this like this really, happy-go-lucky girlfriend. His girlfriend's really bright and jolly sort of thing. But then suddenly one day she dumps him. Well,
Ooh.
just out of the blue. She doesn't give him a reason or anything. So he's just there. He's extremely lonely. So like in order to sort of, ease himself, he hires a rental girlfriend called Mizuhara Chizuru, and so she is like so she is extremely beautiful. She's like well known. She's extremely funny, stuff like that. She's basically the perfect girl, and obviously he falls for her immediately. But
yeah.
but then suddenly, our main character, who's called Kinoshita, gets a text that his grandma has had a heart attack and she's now in hospital.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so he rushes to hospital obviously, and Mizuhara is still with him at the time, so she comes with him, and turns out that his grandma is like recovering, she's fine.
Thank
so,
God.
So his grandma says, "Oh, who's this? Is this your girlfriend?" And in the heat of the moment, Kinoshita's like, "Yes." So so now Mizuhara has to like pretend to be his girlfriend. And it's sort of, it's a really cute little series about these two people sort of coming together under like false pretenses. So like it's fake in the beginning, but then it sort of like becomes a more genuine, loving relationship, and it's really cute. There are tons of great side characters as well, and it's good to just give it a little watch if you got a few hours to spare. It's only 12 episodes. I doubt there's going to be a second season because the manga is finished, and it's a pretty short manga anyway. So yeah, it's just a good little romance that is not shady or illegal in any way, despite what the negative reviews let you think.
Despite what American white girls say about it.
Exactly. So yeah, Rent a Girlfriend is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it does sound actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
I did hear that it wasn't good, but if you're saying it's decent, then
Yeah,
I might
it is.
see how it is. Okay. So my favorite romance, we're gonna have to go philosophical. So, it is widely believed that science can provide rational explanations for the countless phenomena of our universe. However, there are many aspects of our existence that science has not yet found a solution to and cannot decipher with numbers. The most notorious of these is the concept of love.
I think I know what you're talking about now.
While it may seem impossible to apply scientific theory to such an intricate and complex emotion, a daring pair of quick-witted Saitama University scientists aim to take on the challenge. My favorite romance anime of 2020 is called Science Fell in Love, So I Tried to Prove It.
Yeah, I've heard about
is
this.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it so much. So, basically, one day, the bold and beautiful Ayami Himuro outwardly declares that she's in love with Shinya Yukimura, her fellow logical and level-headed scientists. Acknowledging his own lack of experience with romance, Yukimura questions what factors constitute love in the first place and whether he's in love with Himuro or not. Both clueless in the dealings of love, the pair begin to conduct detailed experiments on one another to test the human characteristics that indicate love and discern whether they demonstrate these traits towards each other. As Himuro and Yukimura begin their intimate analysis, can the two scientists successfully apply scientific theory with the help of their friends to quantify the feelings they express for one another? It is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
It is just two loner nerds realizing that they love each other, but not knowing what love is, so they're trying to explain it with science. And like one example of the things they do is the guy does the stereotypical anime guy thing and puts his hand on the wall in front of her and like leans into her. And they do that, she gets all flustered, and so does he a little bit. And then they instantly go to write down notes about it, what they're like, how they're feeling, and like how to like what the reaction of it is. And then they try it again 300 times because obviously the test has to be fair.
Yeah, of course.
And then they realize that feeling is lost after that so many times because it's the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
And so it's just them figuring out what love really is in their own language, being science. Yeah. And it's so fucking cute. I love this so much. It's so adorable. It's quite comedic as well. Like with that scene, like it's like a one frame in between them being all flustered and then them turning to their fucking notepads to write shit down on. It was so funny when I first saw it. And it's only 12 episodes. Highly recommend watching it. Yes, so good.
I've also heard good things about this show.
Yeah, it's great. Would highly recommend it. And I think that's about it, really. Yeah.
Brilliant. So that just about does it for our best anime of 2020. So we hope there's at least one series in there that you take an interest in and you want to pick up. But these are the shows that you should stay away from. This is our worst anime of 2020. So we're just gonna whiz through these. We're doing the same genres. So I'm gonna start right off with my worst shonen of 2020.
I think I know what this is.
This is the insult pick for me because it's from a franchise which I absolutely adore. It's probably one of my favorite franchises in anime, probably a second only to Dragon Ball. And it's been with me since I was a kid. That is Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens.
Oh
my god, what a train wreck. So the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series has sort of, it's been notorious for being completely outlandish and wild for no reason, even though it's a children's card game. But this is the opposite. This is just boring. Because it centers around two elementary school kids who want to become world champion Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists. And it's like it was written by an elementary school kid. There's no good dialogue. There's nothing unique about it, except for the character designs. But it's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, so no character looks like a normal human being anyway. But it's so terrible. They try and invent this new Yu-Gi-Oh! Mechanic called a rush duel, which is just needlessly complicated and confusing, and I have no idea. I barely got past Link Monsters, which was introduced in 2018, and now they're introducing something even more complex, and I just don't like it. Don't watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens, especially don't watch it if you're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just don't do it. I hate it. I hate it. Insult. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. You can probably guess what mine is. I don't know much shonen. I don't watch it.
Yeah.
But this one has a notoriously bad anime. Nobody really likes it. The manga is good. However, the anime lacks.
Yeah.
This being Boruto.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I knew it was either My Hero Academia or Boruto. Yeah.
Fuck, My Hero Academia's oh, fuck!
They're both terrible. They're both terrible.
No, but that's the thing. I've seen more My Hero Academia than Boruto. Change it. Yeah. Change it. Don't care.
Series 4 came out this year. It still counts.
My Hero Academia sucks. Yeah. I hate it. It's so boring. It's bland. I hate it. Deku sucks.
Deku is the worst anime character of all time.
He's awful. I can't do this. I'm quirkless. Even though 30% of the world is quirkless.
Yeah, it's not like it's just him. I think the series would have been more effective if he was literally the only person on Earth who was quirkless.
Yes, it would have been more impactful. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, he's the only one.
Yeah.
Wow. And maybe they could have added something where, like, whoa, he isn't actually the only one. Later on in the series.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I
No,
get you.
it's awful.
It's one of
The
my least favorite anime also.
I only have a few characters that I think, oh, they're pretty good characters. The rest are bland and boring.
Yeah.
And just don't have any substance towards them.
Yeah. Big agree.
The conflicts are pretty boring in themselves as
Yeah.
well. It's like they do more talking than action.
Exactly, yeah. And all of season, like the first half of season 2 is ripping off the Naruto Chunin exams, but so much worse because it's only like 12 episodes, whereas the Chunin exams were like 60 episodes because, they're a massive event in the lives of the Naruto characters.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of a rushed version of them, and I hate that. I hate that arc in particular. It's so boring.
And it takes an entire season.
Yeah, it's so bad.
It's boring. It's just the fights. You know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah.
I know that we watch JoJo and we should know that the main characters are always gonna win, but at least they throw us curveballs. At least people die in that show.
Yeah.
God damn, man. It's just you don't care for any of the characters.
Yeah.
Fucking the guy who runs really fast gets crippled in one part, and I didn't feel sad for him.
Yeah.
I genuinely didn't feel sad for him. It sucks so much, and I'm not fully up. I'm not fully up to date. Yes, I know.
You don't need to be. Season 4 is about the same quality. It's slightly better than season 2.
I'm on season 3 right now.
Yeah.
And it's things I've seen before which have been done better.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Just don't bother watching it.
Great.
There's too much to it.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the worst seinen anime of 2020. Yeah. My pick is Komata Jisan, or Troublesome Old Man. This is such a weird show. So there's really nothing to it. It's an old man. It's basically a sketch show of an old man who acts like a handsome young man. So he tries to woo ladies, and he does all this daring stuff, and he goes for both young and old women, and it's so boring because episode after episode is just him doing some weird chivalrous stunt that is meant to be funny, I guess. But the whole thing is, it's funny because he's old, and that wears thin extremely quickly. And yeah, I can't say much else because there is nothing else to say. It's a sketch show. None of the things he does are that funny. It's just boring, and I have no idea why it was even made. It's such an odd concept for a show. Yeah, Troublesome Old Man. If for some reason you were thinking about watching this, don't. It's such a weird show.
I'm gonna have to agree with you with my worst signing as well.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much, but it's bad. Just think old fucking what's it called? Bad grandpa kind of bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because it's random old man does something funny.
It's so weird.
It's like if they made an entire anime about Roshi being a pervert.
Yeah.
From Dragon Ball.
Yeah. The whole reason why Roshi being a pervert is funny is because it's such a minor part of the series.
Yeah, and it's just his character trope.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like the sole purpose of the entire show.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas this is what they do for this. It's just bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Why?
Yeah. So don't do that. Moving on to our worst picks for slice of life anime. My pick is Maisetsu, or Maisetsu Opening Act, which is such a weird, another trying to be funny, not funny anime.
Literally.
This centers around 4 elementary school girls whose their lifelong dream is to become famous stand-up comedians. So the show is just basically them just doing jokes, but they're very rarely funny. And it's just their parents saying oh, you'll never be a successful comedian. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to be a successful comedian. And that's pretty much the entire conflict of the show. Boring. The fact that they're like cute elementary school girls does nothing for the plot. I know a lot of anime use that, you know, as a plot point. It's really bad. And it's sort of not surprising considering it is a Funimation original series. So, like, you know, it's going to be bland. It's trash. It's awful. None of the jokes land, except if you like jokes that elementary schoolers would make, you know, like toilet humor and stuff like that. It's just not good. Yeah, don't watch it.
Yeah. Once again, I don't watch many isekai. Sorry, not isekai, slice of lives.
Yeah.
But this, it sucked.
Yeah.
It majorly sucked.
It was such a slog to watch. It was such a slog. I had to force myself to get through, and I only watched about 5 or 6 episodes of the 12.
And it's just, it's children.
Yeah. It's not like, you know, I don't know. Okay, I'll stop there. Yeah, it's just children. You know.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
It's yeah.
Moving on real quick to the worst action anime. This comes from Netflix, a Netflix original anime. Riding on the success of the actually good Castlevania anime, comes Dragon's Dogma, the anime series.
Wait, Dragon's Dogma? I've heard that before.
Yeah, it's like a quite famous sort of medieval. I've never played any of the games. The games look okay.
Yeah, it's a game.
Yeah. So yeah, it is basically a carbon copy of the Castlevania anime.
Which I still need to watch. It looks so good.
Yeah, it is very good. But this is, oh my god, it's so bad. The animation sucks. You know 2016 Berserk? It's like that. But this is in 2020. Surely we've learnt from the errors of bad CGI in anime.
Yeah.
But this sucks, man. It's so boring. It's about a guy who like has his heart or like his soul stolen by a dragon, and he's like been brought back from the dead, and it's like just him going across this medieval landscape fighting demons. So you could tell, like, I know it's based off a game, but it is trying so hard to be Berserk. It's so hard, and it's just failing dramatically. It's so boring. None of the side characters are good. And, you know, the thing that makes Berserk good is that Guts himself is not that complex of a character, and it's about how he interacts with the side characters that make the show good. But the side characters are just absolutely boring in this. I can't even remember the main character's name. I think it's Ethan or something like that. And it's just boring. Trash. Watch Castlevania. It's so much better. But yeah, that was the worst action anime I saw in 2020.
Nice. For me, it's gotta be Plunderer.
Yeah.
I'll give you a gist.
Oh god, it's so bad.
This guy, he likes to roam around. He's never in one place. He goes from town to town.
Stop.
And he finds himself falling for some girl. He turns to a massive creep and starts molesting her. Because he's a plunderer. Oh yeah, a plunderer.
Yeah. Knowing YouTube, this will get taken down now for copyright.
No, it's a remix.
It's a remix, yeah.
Oh my god, this fucking was a train wreck.
Yeah. It's so like we say about Troublesome Old Man. It's just sort of haha funny man molesting people.
It's like
God.
It's like they had ideas, but they didn't format them. They just shoved everything into one, and then poof, came out like shit. It's like when you make a random shit in a Breath of the Wild. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's all it gets. And the concept itself, it's like a world ruled by numbers, and like you gain and lose points for specific things you do. Like, oh wow, that's interesting, but the execution of it is done so bad.
Yeah, I agree.
God, and the
Plunderer.
character,
Plunderer is famously bad, I think. I think a lot of people hate
yeah,
Plunderer ever since it came out.
yeah. Characters, they just suck all around.
Yeah.
And then now we can move on
Yeah.
because I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah. So, since my least favorite genre of anime is isekai, you can imagine how much I hate my least favorite isekai of 2020. My least favorite isekai of 2020 is called I'm Standing on 1 Million Lives.
What the fuck is that?
God. Right, so in isekai, like, there are some isekai, there are very few isekai that I enjoy, but I enjoy them because, you know, they break the formula. You know, they break the traditional mold of isekai, you know, like Reincarnated as a Slime, Konosuba, you know, stuff like that. I actually enjoy, but this is the most cookie cutter, basic isekai with nothing original about it whatsoever. It's about 3 students who get transported to a fantasy world, and each of them gets assigned a different class, and they have to go on quests, and they have to fight the final boss. And it's like, if the final boss gets into our real world, it's going to be the end of the world, so they have to beat him. It is the worst. It's so bad. I have nothing else to say about it. I have nothing else to say about it because it's so generic. It's so cookie cutter, basic isekai by numbers, which is ironic considering it has a number in the title. But like, the title doesn't even make any sense. Where are the million lives?
God damn it! Yeah.
Like, if he says, like, if he means, like, you know, I've got the fate of the world in my hands, there are more than 1 million people in the world. Like, it makes no sense. It's baffling to me how this even got made. The animation sucks as well. It's like just basic. There's nothing special about the animation either. It's just so bland, and I'm baffled that it even exists. God, I hate isekai, but I hate this in general. Okay, moving on.
My worst one. It's just a Yu-Gi-Oh clone, but with a mobile game, which is actually a decent game.
Yeah.
Called Shadowverse. It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Guy wakes up, finds a new fucking mysterious smartphone. Ooh, and it comes installed with the popular card game Shadowverse. Trademark. And God, it just sucks.
Yeah. You know, where Yu-Gi-Oh is like sort of kind of more subtle with it being an advertisement, this is just a blatant full-on product placement for this game.
The character designs are BTEC Yu-Gi-Oh! They're all over the place, but they're not like charming in any way, like the newer Yu-Gi-Oh! Designs.
Yeah.
The main character looks exactly like the character from what's it called? Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens, actually.
Yeah, he does.
It's so fucking stupid, and they're children as well, so they're annoying.
Yeah.
At least with fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi, we had like the his dueling version where like he was
Yami Yugi. Yeah, where he was an edgy guy.
Yeah, exactly. But with this, it's just they're trying too hard.
Yeah, very true.
And I hate it. All right, next, please.
Yes. Worst romance of 2020. Like I said before when I was talking about Rent a Girlfriend, there weren't that many actual romance to come out this year, so I didn't actually watch that many. But one I did watch was something that has no direct English translation, so that might tell you something about what kind of show it is. Called, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, Otona nya koi no shikitata ga wakarane. Okay? I'm just going to call it Otokoi, the shortened version. It's a hentai. It's a softcore hentai. I didn't know this going in because I did watch it. There is like a censored version that was broadcast on TV, so I just thought it was an anime. It sucks.
I just translated it.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
No, it's not bad, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know how to be an adult.
Yeah, it's terrible. So it's basically these two people have been both have been cheated on by their partners. So they sort of, you know, they meet up by chance and then sparks fly and it's all romance and stuff. Cookie cutter romance, boring, bad dialogue, bad characters, lackluster hentai. Yeah, nothing about this is good. Moving on.
Wow. You know what? Yeah, you know what you could watch instead, which is less romance but more comedy.
Yeah.
Interspecies Reviewers. If you,
You
want a
could.
proper, if you want a hentai, just watch that.
Yeah.
I'm so sad I couldn't get this into my best of, but I had to make sacrifices.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, I'm agreeing with Mason. Just watch a better hentai if you want to
Yeah.
do something like that.
Yeah.
Just do that. No need to explain myself any further.
Exactly. So,
God.
that does it for our best and worst anime of 2020. I hope there is something in there that you have taken away. If it's something to watch or something not to watch, we hope that you've got something. So, we're moving on to our best and worst games of 2020. We're doing our own sort of game awards here, but one that was not paid for by Naughty Dog, although we wouldn't be opposed to that. So, again, we've got 6 genres of each game. So our genres are action, action/adventure, family, indie, multiplayer, and RPG. So, I'm going to start right off with my favourite action game of this year, and I think, Dan, you will probably agree with me on this. That being, of course, Doom Eternal. What a fucking good game, man. What a great game.
Well, I've got the exact same, so we'll just gush together.
Yes.
Fuck it. It is so good.
One of the best shooters ever made.
It's
Just-
like,
Oh my, I can't even. The action
It's
is
like-
so... I'm there, and I have, like, when I'm playing the story mode, I come away from my PC, and my hands are shaking, because I just haven't stopped focusing on it. It's so in your face and up there, and it just never stops hitting you again and again and again. It's so exciting. The story is there. The story is there, but the action, the gameplay, so crisp, so clean,
That's
so polished. Oh my god.
it's like they thought to themselves, how do we make Doom 2016, an already good game,
Yeah.
better?
Yeah.
Oh, just improve everything and then just make it a game. Oh, okay, here's Doom Eternal.
Yeah. I love
Better looking
how
graphics.
fast paced the combat is as well,
Yeah,
because you have 2
exactly.
dashes, you have a double jump, you have a thing that can, like, make you slow down time. You have a perk that makes you slow down time if you get, like, really badly damaged. So it's like, as Doom 2016 was, like, it's known for its difficulty, but it also wants you to have fun. It doesn't want you to just run into it again and again and again and die every single time. Like, unless you have it on, like, Ultra Nightmare, or, one of those difficulties.
Yeah, exactly.
The boss fights as well are very cool. It's not really, I don't know, the bosses, it's not known for its bosses like Dark Souls is, but I think the boss fights are particularly great in the Doom games.
It's known for its enemies in general.
Yeah,
not
exactly. Yeah, the
Right.
enemy designs are so good. Very
Oh.
different from Doom 2016, which took more of an alien approach, but these are just like full demons now.
They went back to the OG designs
Yeah.
from the first game, and I think they look so good.
Yeah.
How they did it.
It's gory, it's fun, it's fast paced, it's just uncompromising. It's everything you need in a shooter game. Doom Eternal, by far the best action game of this year, I think. I can safely say it is by far the best. Like,
Definitely say that.
yeah, so good. And since we had the same one, we'll move on to my pick for the best action adventure game. So this is more focused on also the story, also focusing on, the fighting type gameplay, but the story as well. My action adventure is Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Oh.
Oof. Ooh. I was not a Zelda. I did not care about the Zelda games at all, in the slightest, until I played Breath of the Wild, and now I am a huge Zelda fan. And this game combines Zelda, which I now really like, and warrior type games. So where you play as multiple characters and you like manage their positions on the battlefield. But then you also, it's like also hack and slash, massive enemies, beat 'em up genre. The story as well is very, very good. It's a prequel to Breath of the Wild, so it sort of shows you how we got to basically the apocalypse. all of the characters are great. You get to play as characters from Breath of the Wild through like this time travel stuff, which I won't really go into because of spoilers, but it is actually very well done. I think there are like 20-ish characters, maybe 18 or 20 characters. Each one is completely different. They each have their different quirks. Even characters of the same race, you know, so you get 2 Gorons and two Zora, stuff like that. They each have their own powers, and yeah, it's extremely fun. It's so fast-paced. The story is super, super long, but not in a way that makes you feel bored, because each level brings its own thing to the table. The bosses are as good as they are in Breath of the Wild. I'm just skimming over this because I've already talked about this on a previous episode of the podcast. But yes, Age of Calamity, absolutely love this game. I can't wait for Breath of the Wild 2, but that's a while off. So in the meantime, pick this up. Just do it. It's great.
Yep. And I guess we can go for mine now, which mine is Ghost of Tsushima.
Ooh, yes.
What an amazing game,
Whoa.
both story-wise, visually, and combat.
Yes.
It is like, if you want to make a stealth game, copy Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
As well as get a bit of Sekiro in there, because Sekiro works pretty well.
Yeah.
But it is so fucking good.
This game got snubbed at the Game Awards, man. This game got ignored.
I love it because it's no multiplayer. It's like, because it's single player. It just gets, once it's out, it gets tossed under the rug because it doesn't have as much free
Such
playability.
a shame. Such a shame.
Big sad. But yeah, it is so good. The graphics, man, holy! I mean, just
So
it
good.
is like, it looks like next gen.
Yes.
You should it looks so fucking beautiful.
And I don't even think that. I mean, obviously, this is me. I don't know for sure, but I don't even think there is like an upgrade version to next gen. You know, like some games are doing a free upgrade. I think Ghost of Tsushima is staying on its last gen graphics because they look so great already.
Exactly. And if they did upgrade it, they'd have to go onto a goddamn NASA computer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, it is so good. Give it a play. It's long and you'll love it.
Yeah.
It is great.
There's a filter in the option settings, which is a samurai cinema filter, which makes it like black and white and makes like film grain go on the screen. So it's like you're watching a samurai movie, and I love that. I love that so much.
It's a beautiful game.
Yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous. Yes. Moving on to our best family game.
I think we have the same one for this one as well.
Yeah, family game. This is also my personal game of the year, just in general. That being Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Nintendo Switch. Did you have this also, Dan?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, of course. It is so fun. I love it so much.
Fun. Like, I will say, it's one of the first. It's the only Animal Crossing game I've ever played. I never owned it.
Yeah, I had New Leaf on the 3DS, but apart from that, yeah.
Well,
New Leaf is also great.
That's all the time I have now. I'm going to go inside and play Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, New Leaf is similarly great, but the thing about Animal Crossing games is they get better and better, like with each one. They just add things. That's pretty much it, because the formula works so well. Like, they just add more and more to it each game, and I love that.
Yeah, it is adorable. The game itself.
It's absolutely adorable. The graphics are so good, like cartoon.
One gripe is just a little bit more customization, but other than that, it's not. Actually, no. The customization in clothing is really good. Yeah. I'm talking about appearances.
Yes, I do agree. Yeah, the character customizer is a little bit simple, but like
the clothing is so much clothing to get. I have like 20 different styles.
Exactly. Yeah.
So fucking
good. And the thing is, the developers, obviously Nintendo, actually like this game, which is odd for them to like a game that they put out. But they actually really like this game, and they're giving it regular updates, like seasonal updates. The Christmas update for this year was really, really good. And yeah, if you have a Switch, do pick it up. It's your perfect, relaxing game. You could play it for like half an hour each day, or even like 10 minutes each day. It's just, that perfect calming down sort of nice little game where you manage an island, and it's just, it's very cool. It's just cool. It's just cool. It's objectively cool, I think. Like, you can say you don't like the gameplay, but the concept itself is just great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pick it up. My personal game of the year. But definitely the best family game as well. So, moving on to indies. And indies, I think, also got a little bit snubbed at the Game Awards. Well, my pick did anyway. Because I think, in my opinion, this is so far apart from any other indie that came out this year. That being Spiritfarer. Wow. Wow. Just wow is all I can say. So basically you play as a girl who is dead, and you become the new ferryman or ferrywoman for the underworld. So it's your job to fulfill a soul's last request and guide them to their final resting place. But it's so like optimistic and sort of, heartwarming in the way that it tackles topics like death. And it's so it's comforting. So like, you comfort them and that you help them find acceptance. It's just a great little game, like, and you could customize your boat, because your boat is like this. It's not like a rowboat, like in traditional mythology. It is like a massive ferry that you could just put attachments on and add things to, and different rooms and stuff like that. Very cool. You have a cute cat as well. Very cool. And the world is very wide, so you can set the boats to go to loads of different islands. Each one is completely different. The character designs in this game, wow. There's something straight out of like an outlandish, cartoon, like Adventure Time or Gravity Falls, something like that. Just completely weird and wonderful, like wacky character designs, and I dig it. It's such a great game, and it was made by a team of like 15 people, and it took them absolutely ages. And I would highly recommend it to anyone. It's like £10 on Steam, less on Nintendo Switch. Just get it. It's so calming and relaxing, and the story is so like polished as well. It's just really fun. I really enjoy that game.
Yeah, it sounds it.
Yeah.
And you can probably definitely guess what my favorite indie game is. It has to be Hades, man.
Yeah.
I love Hades so fucking much. It's so cool. All the characters, their designs, even though they've already like been pictured so many times, they're so unique in how they picture Greek gods.
Yeah.
It's so goddamn cool. And the voice acting in it, oh!
Yeah, again,
Oh,
another Game Awards snub. Like, I think it's Logan Cunningham who voices Hades.
Oh.
He deserved that award, man.
Yes, I love
brilliant.
that. And even the goddamn what's it called? The main guy. Fuck, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he has a really weird. I can't remember it either.
Yeah, it's really annoying, but yeah, it's dungeon crawlers. Always fun. Like Enter the Gungeon.
Yes.
Love them. Like the art style is like impeccable.
Yes, I agree.
It's so cool, so unique. Definitely give this game a pick up. It's only 60. It's like only £20. 60 now with the Christmas Steam sale.
Yep.
But highly recommend getting it. It is.
Yes.
So.
Yes. If you somehow haven't heard about Hades, it is very, very good. And I know it got a lot of coverage this year because of how good it is.
Yeah, give the developers love.
Yes, exactly.
Buy the game.
Buy the game. Yes. Yeah. Buy it.
Buy it. Right. Best multiplayer game.
Moving on to best multiplayer game. Mine is. I was a little bit strapped for multiplayer this year. I didn't really play much apart from games that have already been out like Overwatch. But my favorite multiplayer game of this year was Valorant, which came out early this year. It sort of died down a little bit now. But I really enjoyed it when it was hyped, when you could actually find a match. I think I went on about a week ago and it took me like 25 minutes to find a game, which is a shame. But I actually really liked it. It's sort of like it's a cross between Counter-Strike and Overwatch. So it is a character-based shooter where the premise is pretty much the same as Overwatch. It's defuse bombs.
CSGO.
I mean CSGO, sorry, yeah, of course. I mean CSGO. Defuse bombs, that sort of thing. Team A, Team B. And all of the characters are pretty balanced, I would say. There's no, like, clear, overpowered character, you know, like there is in Overwatch. There's, like, 2 or 3 which just dominate the game. But there's, like, you know...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very balanced. It's very fun, and I wished more people would play it now. But it was sort of like a flash in the pan for a lot of people, you know. It came out, it's by the same people who made League of Legends, so that sort of, you know, got a lot of people going. It was a highly streamer-based game, so, you know, people knew about it because their favourite streamer was playing it, and they were actually giving out keys to the beta. But then Among Us came along, and everyone forgot about Valorant, which is a shame. But, yeah, Valorant, great game.
Yeah.
I wish it was alive for longer. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll definitely have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
Valorant, it's like one of the like most fun I've had in a shooter, like properly online for a while. It's like, you know me, not a big fan of Overwatch playing alone.
Yeah, I get that.
But this game I could play alone.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean to like not have your argument down the drain, but for me, the load times were fine, actually. I didn't have any problem with load times. I found a game almost instantly, really.
All right, well, yeah.
Like, give it like 10 seconds.
Must just be me then.
I don't know, it maybe like region shit like that. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was like, for me, it was good. The experience I had with the game, it was very, very fun. I heavily enjoyed my time there. Leveling up wasn't too bad either.
Yeah,
like,
it's not a grind fest like Destiny.
Yeah. But and characters, yeah, they're unique enough. They have their own specific things, and it was a fun CS:GO clone.
Yeah.
And I would actually say it's better.
Yeah, I definitely got more enjoyment out of Valorant than I ever have out of CS:GO. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just because I prefer, you know, the more cartoonish style of it.
Yeah. I can see why.
Yeah. So, was that your pick for a multiplayer then, Dom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So moving on to RPG, best RPG of 2020 for me was Persona 5 Royal.
Of course.
Oh my god. My favorite game of all time is Persona 5. And Persona 5 Royal, for the most part, is a giant improvement on it. It's sort of like a definitive edition of the game. So you get pretty much a whole new campaign. You get a new player character. She's pretty cool. I like how she interacts with the existing cast, so with Joker and stuff like that. You get a cool grappling hook now, which you didn't have in Persona 5, so you can zip around the levels. I feel like this game is made for people who have already played Persona 5, especially with the induction of the grappling hook. So where Persona 5 was more about exploration of each massive, huge open level, this is more about, you know, the story and zipping through the story. So I've already seen speedruns of it because the grapple hook is an amazing addition. Grapple hooks in general are my favourite game mechanic. And yeah, there's really not much to say about it apart from all the good points that Persona 5 already has. Brilliant story, hugely realistic characters, amazing RPG action sequences, super cool Persona system where you can fuse and combine personas. Totally perfect art style, you know, the vibe of the entire thing, you know, the sort of, the art style that it's going for, very poppy, you know, visually stunning. Absolutely love Persona 5. Persona 5 Royal is just more of it, and you need to pick it up. If you're a fan of any sort of JRPG like this, pick it up. I know Persona 4 Golden is on Steam. Persona 4, also a great game. Persona 5 Scramble, coming to Steam and Nintendo Switch in February. Let's hope we get a PC release of Persona 5 Royal soon. Currently it's only on PS4. Let's hope we get a PC release as soon as possible.
Yep, hopefully so. Love to play it.
Yeah.
So, for my favourite RPG, I am so pleased that it actually won one goddamn Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh my god, is this game beautiful in every way. I loved it so fucking much.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy VII is already a great game.
Yes.
So unique and original characters. It's so cool. And the remake just built up on that so much more, like increased mission, like some like smaller missions and like smaller bosses in the original game, they made into much bigger things in the remake to increase like the character development within the game,
Yeah.
and I love that. Like Barrett, Jesse, Biggs, they're all so fucking cool because they're all unique in their own way. They feel real, like their personalities and the goddamn like graphics, man. Holy shit! We need a PC port. Stat.
Yeah.
It looks so fucking good.
Yeah, a PC port's been in the rumor sphere for a while now, but we need it. We need it.
I mean, it's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah, I hope so. Considering Sony are porting a load of games onto PC at the moment.
Yeah,
like it's got to happen at some point.
Yeah, like is there any need to say any more?
Yeah.
It's just Final Fantasy VII, but newer graphics, like increased on the already amazing characters. The voice acting is fucking amazing. It's even good for the characters you walk past, like the NPCs.
Yeah.
Even they sound like pretty decent.
Yeah.
And, oh, the story. Oh, big. It's so good. It's different, and I cannot wait for the next one in like 20,000 years.
Yeah. Yeah. If you for some reason haven't heard about Final Fantasy VII Remake, do pick it up. It was so close for me between Persona 5 and Final Fantasy VII, because I love them both pretty much equally. But I just think because I have played base Persona 5, it pulled ahead a little bit for me. But because I haven't actually played base Final Fantasy VII, but the remake is, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. God, now onto the shit ones.
Yeah, now onto the very worst. 2020 for the most part was a good year for games, but that doesn't mean that there weren't some clunkers in there. So for the worst action game, I put something that only came out about a week ago: Medal of Honor Above and Beyond.
Well, hold on a second. I think I've heard of this.
We talked about this, I think, last episode or the episode before. Medal of Honor Above and Beyond is the VR Medal of Honor game. So Medal of Honor has always had this like troubled reputation of trying to like not be called a Call of Duty clone when it so clearly is. So it's always been trying to strike out on its own, and now they thought the best way to do this was in a VR game. It isn't. My God, I can't even, like, what? Nothing works in this game. The VR aspect is absolutely terrible. Like, I've seen people play it because I am not rich enough to afford a VR, and the input lag on every single action in this game is absolutely huge. And and it has such a high benchmark as well. I know we talked about the system requirements. They are so high for this game for no reason, because the game looks like garbage. The game looks terrible. It looks like one of the classic Medal of Honor games from the 90s. Like, and also you can't play it without a VR headset. I know a lot of VR games you can actually play on just on PC, but you can't play this without a headset. So it's really, really exclusive for a game that is really, really bad. Oh my God. And yeah, the actual gameplay, it's at its worst here. It is, ironically, in the game that wants to be the most different to Call of Duty, it's the most like Call of Duty, just with VR. It's terrible, and it's a PC exclusive. It's not on like PlayStation VR. So either you get a controller or you sit there with your mouse and keyboard with a VR headset on. So that sort of breaks the entire immersion right there, because you don't actually move around. So unless you buy a controller for a PC game, for a PC shooter game, I know a lot of people play shooters on mouse and keyboard. Very few actually play them on controller. Like, it just breaks the entire experience. This game is ass. It's ass. It's awful. I don't like Medal of Honor at the best of times, but this is definitely one of the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. For mine, I haven't heard of this, but I just did some research, and it looks garbage. The 13 or XIII remake.
Oh, I've heard about this. Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It just did everything like bad they could have done with a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Like the shooting in the game, which is a very very like pivotal point in the goddamn game is shocking. It's really bad. The art style could have been better. They went for something original, like new, but it looks awful.
Yeah. In like the way that Final Fantasy VII Remake, improved and sort of did its own thing with the art style, but it worked. This is trash.
Yeah, it's like, why would you try? And like this game, obviously the original doesn't look that good, but it's unique.
Yeah.
This game, it just doesn't do anything
Yeah.
to be that way. It's just, it's awful.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to say about it. It's like it's just really, really bad.
Yeah, this was a close second for my worst action game as well. Absolute trash. So, moving on to action/adventure, my worst pick is a game I've already ripped to shreds on this podcast before.
Oh, no.
That being the latest game from Don't Nod Entertainment, makes of Life is Strange, Twin Mirror. I won't go too deep into this because I've already talked about it. Go and check out that episode if you want a more in-depth review on it. I don't see why you would, though, because the game sucks. It's meant to be this narrative choices-led adventure. All of your choices lead to the same outcome. That was my main gripe with it. In a choice-based game, there is no choice. Large portions of the game were cut out, so sometimes characters are having conversations about stuff that didn't happen in the game because they cut it out of the game, and that results in a blissfully short game. It's only about 4 or 5 hours long. Absolute garbage. Just why would you ever play this game when Life is Strange exists? Like, Life is Strange, absolutely brilliant game, one of my favorite games ever, but this is such an insult to the formula. Twin Mirror, steer clear, do not play, boring. Yeah.
For me, action adventure game, bad one. This one could have been an RPG, but I have one for RPG already. So this one is Elder Scrolls Blades. It's an Elder Scrolls game, but it's a mobile game. Do I have to say any more?
Yeah. I know everyone memes on like Oblivion and stuff. Oblivion is actually a pretty good game. Skyrim is a good game. Yeah, Blades is trash.
It's god awful. Yeah. Just play Skyrim. Just play any Elder Scrolls.
I swear you could get Skyrim for like £3 or something as well. It's like so cheap now on PC.
Yeah, or just get it from a legal website.
Of course. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. No more. I don't have to say it. It's just awful.
Yeah. Bad. So, moving on to worst family game, for me, is another Nintendo Switch exclusive called Tiny Racer.
I have this one too.
Yeah. I see great minds think alike. It's so
awful.
bad. For a Mario Kart clone, like we've seen a bunch of Mario Kart clones, but
no, because like the OG games were good.
Yeah.
But the thing that this is, there is no local. It's all online.
It's like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Eyes of Heaven in a family, like a couch co-op game. There is no couch co-op.
Exactly, and
so
like the amount of cards you can choose from is pitiful. The stages could be like more creative, and the goddamn like actual online servers, it fucking suck.
Yeah, Nintendo Online is bad already for Nintendo games, but when it's harnessing third-party games, it's so abysmal.
God, just don't bother. Play an older Tiny Racers because they're good.
Yeah.
God,
this is trash. Or just play like a better racing game like Mario Kart, or even like Crash Team Racing. Like that's even better than this.
No, Crash Nitro feels a great fucking racer.
Yeah. Or even I'm gonna say the forbidden game here. Even Garfield Kart is better than.
What do you mean? That's better than Mario Kart.
Of course, yeah. Garfield Kart is a 10 out of 10 game. Moving on to the worst indie game, in my opinion, of 2020 is a game, another Nintendo Switch exclusive.
Oh my god!
You can tell Nintendo had a bumper year this year, for all reasons. is a game called Gleam Light.
Gleamlight?
Gleam Light is an absolutely terrible attempt
Never even
at...
heard of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a terrible attempt at a platformer. And it's like a story-based... You know the games Unraveled? Or Unravel?
Oh, yeah.
About like the
Unraveled.
little yarn guys, where it's like
Unraveled.
co-op based platforming. That is actually good. But this is a co-op based platformer, which sucks. It's like the art style is meant to be like a you know, like a stained glass window, like that sort of thing, like a mosaic.
Yeah.
But it looks like trash. Not only because it's on the Nintendo Switch, but just because they're really badly drawn. The platforming, again, some parts are super easy, even in like the late game, and some parts are super hard in like the early game. The difficulty is all over the place, and there are like speedrun bits, despite it being a really slow game. So it ramps up the tension on some levels, and like you know, there's stuff behind you coming at you, like a wall of flame or something, and you have to outrun it, but you run at the same speed. So it's essentially just don't make a mistake. That's pretty much it. It's boring as hell. It prides itself on having no UI.
What? That's not a good thing.
It even says in the game description, no UI for a more immersive experience. Yes, I would really like to see how much health I have, thank you, so I don't like just die at random points. It doesn't tell you how much health you have, doesn't tell you how much stamina you have, doesn't tell you how many items you have, has nothing. It's such a weird choice for the developers to make, and I despise it. Like, there are much better platformers out there. There are much better platformers on the Switch. Cuphead is on the Switch. Unravel is on the Switch. Just buy those ones instead. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, they're so much better. That's my worst indie game of 2020, Gleam Light.
My worst indie game, bit of a not well-known one, and bit of a controversial pick for this.
Okay.
Bright Memory.
No, I don't think I've ever heard of this.
No. Well, very short game, not finished, but he made by one guy in his spare time.
Great.
He tried, like, here's the thing. Here's a good way to sum it up.
We all know how well that usually works out. Cough, Yandere Simulator.
Yeah. While Bright Memory Infinite may end up being a more well-rounded gameplay experience, Bright Memory in its current state is arguably the worst title in the Xbox Series X launch lineup, and even though it's available at a budget price and only lasts a couple of hours, it's difficult to recommend to anyone.
Oof. And it was a launch title as well.
Yes.
Yikes.
And it's not even properly finished.
Oh.
Like, it's very short. Like 50 minutes short.
Oh my god.
Yes, and that's a launch title. It is, yeah, it's not, like, give it time and it could be good, but it has many flaws.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's still going to be done about it, so I have high hopes for it, because it seems like it could go in a good direction.
Yeah. But as it stands, it's
Yeah, it's shocking.
it shouldn't have been released.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially not as a launch title for a next-gen console.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the worst RPGs. I actually have The Elder Scrolls Blades here as an RPG.
Really?
Yeah, but I also have the Switch port, which came out like a month ago. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, we've already talked about it. It's microtransactions out the eyeballs on the Switch version as well.
Yeah.
Buying loot boxes, buying XP. It's buying items that actually help you in the game, pay to win. It's just, yeah, it's a money pit. And I hope The Elder Scrolls 6 is better than this. Because, you know, I've actually gotten quite into The Elder Scrolls after playing Oblivion and Skyrim.
Elden Ring.
But the Elden Ring... Elden Ring is coming out. Promise. But yeah, Elder Scrolls Blades, the worst action adventure, also the worst RPG of 2020.
Yeah. For me, it was Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Blizzard did not, just like No Man's Sky, did not like go on any of what they promised
Yeah.
the people. And I think, and I will say this, that's about as much as I know about it. I'm not a Warcraft guy, but I know that it did not do very well because it just no, like it wasn't. The fans got screwed over pretty much.
Yeah.
They got screwed over because they were half-assed at making this game. Oh, reforged in 4K resolution.
Yeah, but in 4K, it doesn't really matter when the graphics still look like trash. Like, yeah, I've heard about this as well. Warcraft 3 was already pretty bad, and fans were tempted by the promise. It's gonna be better this time. It's gonna improve on the bad Warcraft 3. It's worse. Oh my god, is it worse? Yeah, Warcraft 3 Reforged, trash RPG. Yeah, I agree. The old Warcraft games in general are not great for the most part. The new one looks okay though. I can't lie. Okay, so that wraps up the best and worst video games of 2020. You've probably heard about a lot of the best ones before, because of the Game Awards. Also, just because 2020 was a good year for gaming, in my opinion. I think there are a bunch of good games released this year. And yeah, for the worst games, just ignore them. Just avoid them all. So, moving on to movies. Best and worst movies of 2020. So once again, we have 6 genres. So again, we have action, comedy, animation. Well, this is Western animation, not anime. Horror, sci-fi, and fantasy. So, jumping straight into the action. My pick for the best action was The Hunt, which is a Blumhouse film. Sort of draws on a bit of the horror elements as well, but I don't think it's like too reliant on them to be called a horror. It focuses on a bunch of people who are dropped into sort of like a Hunger Games-esque battle royale death game. Pretty basic setup, like all Blumhouse films. It's got the basic setup, and it all really relies on the director and the actors. And I think the actors do a good job. There's no one really like super famous here, because obviously Blumhouse films are the generic budget films. So there's no one like super expensive or super famous here. But I think all the actors do a good enough job. There are a few twists and turns that I didn't really see coming. The action is extremely good as well. There's a lot of cool gunfights, stuff like that. There's a lot of gore. There's a really cool martial arts fight towards the end as well. I was not expecting it. It was just out of the blue, and it was really, really well choreographed. And like I've said before in this episode, I just love martial arts. Like when they're portrayed well. Really like it. So this was released quite early on. This is one of the first movies to be taken from cinema and placed on digital because of the corona pandemic. The first of many movies. And and I saw it then because it was one of the first, and I enjoyed it. It's a good popcorn movie. It's not going to make you think. You can just sit back, relax, enjoy some of the good action, some of the gore. It's pretty good. Yeah, The Hunt. Cool. Nice. It's a cool movie.
And for me, we can half just skip over mine because we've already talked about it. It's Tenet.
Yes, Tenet. Yeah.
This isn't talking about the story. This is just plain action, and the action in it is phenomenal.
Exactly.
Great. That's all I have to say about it. Go watch the previous episode to hear our full review of it.
Yeah, we did review Tenet in full on episode 6. Go and check that out. Christopher Nolan movie. Very, very enjoyable. In terms of action, I agree with you. It's a very good action movie. So moving on to comedy. Pretty slim pickings for comedy this year, but one stood out. One stood out to, I think Dan had the same as me. That being The Gentleman.
Oh!
What a absolutely supreme comedy. From Guy Ritchie, the director of Snatch and Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels. 2 amazing movies. Comes this sort of modern update on the story. It's a modern update on the story of Snatch, basically. So very good. If you haven't seen Snatch, it's on Netflix. Definitely check it out. One of the best British films ever made. This, again, is, I would say it's as good. Maybe not quite as good, but it's certainly there.
Yeah, I mean, Snatch is already like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah, it would be
I,
hard to
for
top
me,
it.
it's like an 8.5 or like a 9 as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is great. Sort of focuses on the British sort of drugs business. Some genuinely dramatic moments in here as well that I was like on the edge of my seat on, but in terms of comedy, very hilarious. There is Matthew McConaughey, the main character. He's so funny. There are a bunch of memorable characters in this movie, and I can't really say too much without going into spoilers because a lot of the gags are related directly to the plot. It's just rapid fire, joke after joke after joke after joke, just keeping it going. Very, very funny. Like, it doesn't give you a moment to breathe with the jokes, I think, which is what all good comedy should do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The Gentleman. Definitely check it out. So, on to our picks for animation. I had a animation of a video game franchise. So my pick is Mortal Kombat Legends, Scorpion's Revenge.
Oh, shit.
Wow, this movie is great. When we reviewed the absolutely god-awful Mortal Kombat, is it Annihilation or Armageddon? I can't even remember.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. When we reviewed one of the live-action Mortal Kombat films, I said I'm just not a fan of the I'm not. It's not that I'm not a fan. I just don't care about the Mortal Kombat lore. But this movie actually got me invested in it. It is a backstory of Scorpion, who is pretty much the series' most notable character. It shows about him and his clan and his the birth of his rivalry with Sub-Zero, and then it shows us the first Mortal Kombat tournament, but through this amazing art style, and it's very cool. It's made, I think, by DC. It's a DC animated movie, and they've all been great as well. Absolutely love those movies. In many cases, better than the live action movies.
Yeah, its art style is very DC.
Yes, yeah, it is. Again, but it is a Mortal Kombat movie, so there is gore galore. So very well done gore in this movie. But the characters are also really good. I actually felt for Scorpion. Like, I wasn't too familiar with Scorpion's backstory before, but seeing this...
Okay, tragic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, seeing it in this animated form, so cool. I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to have to update myself on the Mortal Kombat lore after this, because I'm actually really interested now. So, yep, all the other characters, Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, Jax Briggs, all very cool guys. Very well written. The voice acting as well is very cool. Again, it's a DC animated movie, so no one massive in there. But yeah, very enjoyable movie. It's only like an hour and a half or an hour and 40 minutes, so it's not stupidly long. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good. Even if you know nothing about Mortal Kombat, it's sort of like a primer. I knew nothing about it, but I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Okay, so I'll go on with mine. Mine's very well known. It is, let's just say, it's got quite the opposite. It's got many, famous faces within it.
Oh yeah.
And one I think you also really like as well.
Okay.
It is Onward.
Onward, yes.
Yes. With
I have
Tom
this as my
Holland
best
and Chris
fantasy.
Pratt. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of just animated movies, so I put this in here.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
Because the dynamic between the brothers is amazing. The characters within it are fun, and the whole world that is based around this universe is so cool.
Mm-hmm. It is a Pixar movie, I believe, or at least a Disney movie. So the world building is going to be great, and they excel at this. I think, definitely. The world is probably my favorite part about it. So sort of the fantasy creatures living in pretty much normal lives.
Yeah,
really cool. And I love how one of the brothers is just like a D&D nerd, which would make sense.
Yeah, his introduction is really D&D like, and he's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
He has a goddamn hippie van.
yeah, he has a mystery machine.
Exactly. Well, yeah, it's really fun. It's really heartwarming at the end as well. So
Exactly. Yeah.
definitely give it a watch.
Tom Holland and Chris Pratt are
Good duo.
excellent. Yeah,
Yeah,
they have
good duo.
they're a great chemistry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love them.
All right.
Great.
What's next?
Moving on to
Horror.
horror. Yes, my favorite horror. Again, kind of slim pickings with horror this year.
I
Not
think I know which one you might say there.
Yeah. This is a movie which I don't think it's like absolutely brilliant and stuff, but it is certainly watchable. It's certainly enjoyable. That being the remake of The Invisible Man.
Oh, I just thought that was garbage. I watched it. I didn't like it.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's like an absolute masterpiece, but
Yeah.
and I know a few things about the plot don't make sense.
Yeah.
But I think the performances, I think, are the main staying power with this. Elizabeth Moss, I believe she's called, the main character. She is very good. She's also in the TV adaptation of The Handmaid's Tale, which I really enjoy.
I need to watch.
Yeah. She's good in this. She's sort of, she's not just the classic, Hollywood Mary Sue, completely flawless female character that they love to portray these days. She has flaws. She gets scared. She doesn't know what to do. It's very realistic, and I think that's definitely what they're going for, a more realistic take on this horror film. And yeah, there's not really much to say, again, without giving away the plot. But the way they actually do The Invisible Man, I actually really like it. Yeah, I get why a lot of people don't like it. It's certainly another popcorn movie. There's no like massive message to it or anything like that.
Yeah. To me, it's too jump scary.
Yeah, there are a few jump scares.
They try too hard.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
But I do think in concept, I do really like it. How they've updated this classic horror. Well, yeah.
For mine, it's a lot more not well known,
Okay.
and it's a foreign movie,
Okay.
but I really enjoyed it nonetheless. It's called The Platform.
Ooh, I've heard about this.
It is so goddamn good.
Yeah.
Premise is people wake up in this one room, right? This one room with another person, and there's just a hole in the middle of their room. And in that room, and that looking down at that hole and up, there are stories of this exact same room going down, as far as the eye can see, into pitch darkness.
Yeah.
And in the room as well, you're giving a number, and the main character, can't remember his name, is filled in on what's happening with this old guy who's the higher the number, the better you are, and doesn't explain anything else after that. And then you hear this machinery, and then this big block of metal comes down from the hole, from above them, from the roof, and on that is scraps of food. And so the main character pieces together that the top floor get this top of the food, and the people at the bottom
Oh, I see.
the scraps.
I see.
And so it's a social experiment about the people at the top are being extremely greedy and eating everything, and don't leave anything for the rest of them.
Yeah.
But this guy tries to change that later on in the movie, and it's really cool. But do you want to know the best part is?
Go on.
Every 2 weeks, everybody changes rooms.
Oh,
And it's
like a
completely
reshuffle.
randomized. Yes.
Oh.
So you can be in room 10, which is amazing. And you can be in room 10 in 2 weeks. In the next 2 weeks, you could be in room 150,
Ooh.
pretty much starving for the next
Yeah.
2 weeks. And let's just say there is a lot of dividing between the goddamn rooms. Even between one floor. And a really good jump scare is when you just see this guy falling from one floor to the next one, just from the character's perspective. It just falls because he committed suicide or someone pushed him off.
Oh, okay.
You don't know. And then he's like, what was that? And he's like, suicide. It happens a lot.
I see.
So It's so goddamn cool. It's really cool. It's watch it. It's so unique in its like thing. And characters, they're great. They're really, really realistic. And what they do, you will completely understand. It's not like, oh, what are you doing that for? You're being an idiot in a horror movie. No, these guys are playing it exactly how probably you would.
Brilliant.
And every character is.
Yeah, I've also heard great things about this. Yeah,
watch it. It's so good.
I will. I definitely will.
Right.
Yeah, brilliant.
Next is sci-fi, right?
Yeah, moving on to sci-fi. I have a little bit of a lesser known one here. It has only just come out as well, called Archive. Now, this focuses on a lonely inventor guy whose wife has recently died, and the movie is about his attempts to bring back his wife as an AI and put her in like a robot body. So,
oh wow!
Yeah, so when it sort of goes through all the different prototypes for robots that he uses, and again, the different prototypes sort of get jealous of the other models and stuff like that, and it's like, it sort of goes a little bit into horror, but not not so much that it can be called a horror, and it's really interesting what they did because it's a very, very low budget film. There is no CG. And the crew are actual, robotics engineers, and they actually made the robots themselves for the movie. And it's really, really good. The story, it is very heartbreaking. The story, watching this one guy and nothing's working, and it's like he's getting more and more desperate because his wife was his only thing. And it's really interesting. Especially since all the robots actually function in real life. They're all really, really smartly made. Yeah. I actually really like this movie. Considering I'm not the biggest fan of sci-fi to begin with, I actually really, really like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. With mine, you're gonna. This is actually one sci-fi that I know you've seen.
Okay.
And I know you'd know it's really good.
Okay.
It is based off of the H.P. Lovecraft novel
called
Color Out of Space.
Oh, yes. I completely forgot this came out this year.
Yeah, I mean, it technically came out last year, but it did come out like a second time.
Yeah, a re-release, yeah.
Yeah. But let's just goddamn say, it is one of the best Nicolas Cage movies I have ever seen.
Oh my god, yes. Nicolas Cage, obviously we all know he's the absolute king of acting.
Yeah. The king of B-Tech acting.
Yeah, the king of B movies. And I love this movie also. Yeah.
It's so fucking cool because it does perfectly what the novel is trying to describe.
Yeah, cosmic horror. This unimaginable presence.
Exactly. Yeah. Something that's really hard to do.
Yeah. Definitely.
And with a novel, it's easy because you can describe it, but you don't have to give pictures.
Yeah.
With this, they have to think of originally of what he was trying to imagine.
Yeah.
And I think they got it spot on with that.
Yeah. The horror in this is actually really, really freaky.
I'm gonna be like a dick and say I'm not gonna say anything about this movie because most of it is spoilers.
There is a brilliant Nicolas Cage car freak out.
Oh my god, yes, so active.
It made me laugh so goddamn hard. I love him. I just love Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, definitely. Please give it a watch. It is so cool.
Yes, there needs to be more H.P. Lovecraft movies. I think he's one of the few writers where his work would actually go very well onto the screen. And I know that the director of Color Out of Space is working on a Call of Cthulhu movie, so that would be really cool.
Oh, let's hope it's not like Call of Cthulhu the video game.
Oh yeah, let us hope. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yes. Brilliant. Fantasy. I agree. Fantasy. Oh. So yeah, my fantasy pick was Onward. For all the reasons we already described. Great chemistry, great world building, just a good film. Yeah.
Funny enough for me, I genuinely have nothing in this category.
Yeah. Fantasy in general is a fantasy in general is like a genre where very few actually good movies come out, or very few movies come out in general. Yeah.
I will say though, however, I have made up for it by having two shit, and I mean like
Yep.
awful fantasy movies. One of which I'm so sad is bad because it was my childhood.
Yep.
Because it's a remake. But
Uh-huh.
we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll get there. So, on to the absolute worst. I do think that 2020 was a bad year for movies. Not only because of, the cinema shutting down, all the COVID stuff. Very unfortunate. But also because studios decided to just shove out all of their smaller movies onto streaming and keep the big releases for next year, or 2022 even. So 2020 was a terrible year for movies in my opinion. And that translates to my worst action movie of 2020 is a Vin Diesel movie. Not Arc 2.
No, I know this is Mason because you know why?
What?
I have this as sci-fi.
Oh, yep. Called Bloodshot.
Oh my god. What are you doing, Vin?
Oh,
Come on, man.
Jesus, this game. This movie. Yeah, I can't even think anymore. This movie is so boring. So boring. I can't even describe the plot to you. Like, oh my god.
He dies, but he doesn't.
Yeah, he dies and he comes back to life. And the action is so boring. It's just Vin Diesel running around shooting people. Because he's Vin Diesel.
You'll always be my brother.
Yeah, just stick to Fast and Furious, bro. Like, just don't go out of your box, okay?
Don't go out of cars.
Yeah, don't go out of your cars.
There's the Vin Diesel Cars 4.
I know there was a Fast and Furious game released this year also, which was terrible.
Yes, which was also garbage. I was
Yeah.
trying to get it into my list, but I wasn't a category I could fill it in with.
Yeah, it was absolute garbage. But yeah,
Yes.
Bloodshot is so goddamn boring in every way. Vin Diesel has never been known to be the best actor ever, but I think this is definitely one of his worst. Yeah. I hate it.
Mine. It is really like everybody saw this coming. Everybody knew it was gonna be dog shit. But the amount of dog shit it is just phenomenal, and how it butchers its original. I'm talking about the Mulan remake.
Yeah.
What a shit show.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm not even gonna get on top of the controversy with it. We all know what it is.
Yeah.
If you don't
Disney
look
bad,
up,
that's pretty much the controversy.
just look up Mulan controversy and you'll get it.
Yeah.
They butcher everything in this movie. Completely get rid of the charm and everything
Yeah.
that the original stood for to make something more realistic, which is not the point of a Disney movie.
Yes, definitely.
Similar to the live action The Lion King remake, all of the fun stuff out of it, just to make it look good and have some famous faces in it.
Mm-hmm.
And with this, it isn't even enjoyable. Like, at least with The Lion King, you can like watch it just for the visuals, and that's it.
Yeah.
With this, no, it looks awful. And like, there's this like weird shit that's like, it's like the Force, but it's called Chi.
Yeah.
It's like a kung fu thing, but it's like a complete cop out. It's like they did not use this in the original.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It is so dumb. The whole point of Mulan, the original, which was one of the better like Disney Renaissance films, like, was that Mulan had to work to get to where she was. She had to, put in the work. Yeah, but in this movie she's just the chosen one. She just has the abilities, and she has magic powers now.
Yeah, and Phoenix.
And a phoenix, yeah. And is Liu Shang in this movie? I don't think he is.
Who's he? Sorry.
The I'll make a man out of you.
Yes, but it's not nearly as like gay
Yeah.
as the original was. It's like way more heterosexual.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Yeah, absolutely.
Just
yeah.
don't even bother. Just
Everyone
don't bother.
knew this was going to be trash, yeah.
Just
And
don't bother.
they had the audacity to release it as like, obviously they released it on Disney Plus, but they had the audacity to release it as like Disney Plus premiere, which was like 3 days before the actual release date, but it cost like £15 to £16 to watch it once, and you didn't even get to keep it.
Jesus.
They had, like, for a good movie, I would understand. But,
It costs less than a DVD.
yeah.
It costs fucking, I mean, not less, more than a DVD.
It costs more than a DVD where you could keep it forever, yeah. But to watch it once, it costs more than a cinema ticket. Like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah.
to watch it 3 days early.
Yeah. God.
Right.
Terrible. Okay, on to comedy. So, everyone knows this. The worst thing for a comedy to be is unfunny. And my pick for comedy is extremely unfunny. It is Bill and Ted Face the Music. And it sort of breaks my heart to put it on this list because I really, really like the original Bill and Ted movies from the 90s. So sort of Keanu Reeves and the other guy whose name I can't remember sort of go on this massive, big, time-traveling, like, universe-spanning adventure, but they're just, you know, like, two lazy teenagers. It's extremely funny, extremely relatable, but now Bill and Ted Face the Music, they are, like, aging men, and it shows. Like, they are so bored in these roles. You can tell they do not want to be there. Especially Keanu. Keanu, I love him. I love the guy. I love him as a person, but he is terrible in this movie. But that is because he gives nothing to work with, because the script is so boring. It basically retreads the entire first movie, but now they're adults, so they have a different perspective on things. But the whole thing is like thrown out the window because they're adults, but everyone throughout the movie, everyone keeps telling them that they're still acting like teenagers. So they don't have a more mature perspective on things because they're man children now instead of actual children. It's so grating to watch, and I hate it. I hate how Hollywood has to pull these like dead franchises up to get on brand recognition. It really makes me angry, and this film is absolute garbage. Yeah, Bill and Ted Face the Music, not good at all. Rip Keanu, like, I love the guy. He should not have been in this.
Yeah. For me, I don't watch comedies often. Like, Gentleman is like one of the only comedy I watched this year.
Yeah.
So, I gave myself an excuse. I love a certain person from a certain fictional, story of some sort. I love him, and I enjoyed the BBC show of it. And this character recently went into the public domain, meaning that everybody can make anything of it.
Oh, right.
Meaning so can Will Ferrell.
Oh.
It brings me on to Holmes and Watson.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
This came out in 2018. I don't care. 2 years ago. It's that bad. I need to say something because I love Sherlock Holmes as a character.
I hate you for reminding me that this movie exists.
Well then, I hate you for reminding me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god.
I despise this movie. It's exactly what you said. It's not funny.
Yeah. It's trying way too hard.
It's Will Ferrell being Will Ferrell.
Mm-hmm.
It's like watching Elf
20
million times.
Yeah.
While it's like being played 5 times on like 5 different screens at once.
Except Will Ferrell is now like an old man. Well, he's not old. He's older.
I would rather watch the Robert Downey Jr. movies than this.
So would I. And they're not the best movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how bad this shit is.
Yeah.
I hate it. And I'm sorry that it wasn't a 2020 movie, but...
There's really not been that much out in 2020 that could be called a comedy anyway.
And I don't watch comedy, so I wouldn't been able to say anything about it.
Yeah, Holmes and Watson, absolute garbage. Yeah.
Yep. So sad that it went to public domain. Just stay private, please.
Yeah.
Go back to private.
And
oh yes, Sherlock Gnomes. another goddamn example. But we don't have to get into that because we're past animated. Oh no, we're on to animated.
We're on animated, and yeah. Was your pick Sherlock Gnomes?
No, it wasn't. It was something. It was, I think.
Yep. My pick for worst animation is. And again, it also breaks my heart also because I love the character. I love the universe. I love the old TV shows about this character. And this is a CG movie that was released this year. It is Scoob.
No, I kind of knew it though. I kind of knew.
I love Scooby-Doo so much, man.
Yeah, you do.
And this is so bad. It is like the cringiest, like trend chasing thing ever. Blue Falcon dabs, man. Unironically, in 2020.
My friends call me Dick.
And yeah, it's trying to feed into this like Hanna-Barbera expanded universe. So it has like the Blue Falcon and Dick Dastardly and Captain Caveman and all these old cartoon characters in. And it's like, as a starting point, it's absolute garbage. They got rid of Matthew Lillard as Shaggy. How could they do that, man? Like,
Yep.
And they got rid of Frank Welker as Fred. He still voices Scooby, but for some reason,
why the fuck is that Fred?
yeah.
Why?
Frank Welker always voiced both Scooby and Fred, but now he only voices Scooby for some reason, and Zac Efron voices Fred.
Zac Efron?
Why? Why would you not have the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Welker, who also voiced Megatron on the original Transformers? Absolute madman.
God damn it.
Why would you not have him voice Fred again? And I get, because he's old now, but he could still pull it off. He was recording for Fred as late as I think 2015, which was Mystery Incorporated. He was still Fred in that.
Yeah.
And yeah, all the rest of the voice cast is terrible. Mark Wahlberg is the Blue Falcon. Oh god, I hate Mark Wahlberg anyway, but him in a voice, he's the main guy from Transformers 4: Age of Extinction.
No.
Yeah, he's a minor guy anyway. I really couldn't name you another thing he's been in.
Fair enough.
I hate him anyway, and his voice on a character which I actually really liked from the old days really grates me as well. Yeah, Scoob is a nightmare. It's made for babies, but I don't think even babies will enjoy this. God, I hate it.
Yep. Okay, now on to mine.
Yep.
You thought it was bad the first time, but oh no, there's another one.
I think I know what this might be.
Once again, Nicolas Cage.
Yep.
The Croods: A New Age.
Oh god.
It's just the Croods again, but now they're even more evolved.
Yep.
Whose idea was this?
Oh Jesus. The
God.
money's idea was.
Yeah.
This has been in development ever since the first one came out, and now they finally decided to like shit it out onto streaming. Yeah.
God, is it awful?
Yeah.
And the advertising. Oh god, the advertising. Awful for it.
Yeah, trailers should make you want to watch the movie. These trailers turned me off immediately.
I would rather watch Dawn of the Croods, the animated show.
Yeah.
Than this movie.
I agree. The Croods one wasn't even that good to begin with, though.
No, I didn't like No, it was like there was only a couple scenes where I was like, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
That's the only kind of laugh it got out of me.
Yeah.
Everything else was boring and like generic.
Yeah.
And this is the exact same thing again.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage only works in live action movies where you can tell it's Nicolas Cage, but when he's voicing a character, it's just, it's another bad actor.
We have one exception though.
Oh yeah.
Spider Noir.
Okay, Spider Noir, yes, but that's just because he's written so well as well.
He gets a pass.
Yeah, he gets a pass. Just because that movie is amazing as well.
Yeah, and because he fits the character.
Yeah, exactly. He fits the character. Just a weirdo guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, just don't bother. Don't bother with the first or the second or the series. Just let it die.
Let it die. It's like Ice Age. Just let the franchise die.
Yep.
Okay.
I love this one as well.
Yeah. Ice Age. The first.
As much as Ice Age Baby is a meme, I unironically love the first Ice Age so much.
Yeah,
So,
one, two, and even 3 to some extent. I really like.
on the dinosaurs, I think it's
That's-
good because
Yeah.
because it brought in Buck. He's
Yeah.
a good character.
And then they try and bring back Buck in number 5, and it's just no.
Then it just isn't relevant because
Yeah.
5 isn't relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on to the worst horror. There's been a surprisingly copious amount this year, I think. My pick for the very worst horror, because I watched a lot this year actually, is Fantasy Island.
Same here, brother.
Yeah.
One I actually watched, and my god,
Yeah.
was it bad.
Oh, I was torn between this and the Hellboy remake, but I think this takes the cake. My god.
It looked like the visuals as well. Oh,
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Like the monster in it. Like,
Mhm.
what the fuck are you?
Yeah. Yeah. And there's like, it's another Blumhouse movie, but this one is actually bad.
Yeah.
Oh god. There are no recognizable faces in this again, except that that one guy from Community who is funny for the gay meme. He's the only remotely famous guy in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so bad. Jump scares that aren't even scary. They don't like. If anyone knows me, they know that I at least have like some reaction to jump scares every time.
Yeah, you're like the opposite of me.
Yeah, because that's what jump scares are meant to do. They're meant to give like the body a physical reaction. Like they're not meant to actually scare you. But even these ones, I was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a really weird like rip-off Saw sequence, like a torture trap sequence, which was just completely out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate this movie. Boring.
And
can see it from a mile away.
It was on mine as well. And
Yeah.
while we're on horror,
Mhm.
actually, I meant to say this when we were doing the best ones.
Oh yeah.
I have what I want. This is something that I want us to cover in a later episode.
Oh yeah.
An honorable mention, which would have been on my top, if not for the release date being 6 months too early.
Okay.
That being Midsommar.
Yes, we will cover that at some point, definitely.
We need to.
That is without a doubt. Yes.
Yeah, because I would have put that on there, but it came out in June, and I felt really, really sad because it's in 2019.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just got reminded of it because I just thought Blumhouse, and I was like, oh yeah, who made Hereditary? And they're like, oh yeah, Midsommar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I love Midsommar. I hate Fantasy Island.
Hate Fantasy Island. It's so fucking bad.
It's I completely forgot that the guy from Ant-Man is in it as well. The Mexican guy. He's okay in this, but yeah, he can't save it.
He's the main guy.
Yeah. Yeah, completely boring, unmemorable. Yeah. Moving on to a similarly unmemorable movie for my worst sci-fi. It is an X-Men movie.
Oh no! Oh no!
The release date for this was jumped back and forth and back and forth. It was unlikely that this was ever going to come out at all, but it finally came out this year. The New Mutants. Jesus Christ, man.
Such high hopes as well.
I know. It was meant to kick off like a Marvel horror universe, which I'm all on board for, because Marvel does actually have some cool horror characters. I know there's a Morbius movie getting made, and I do like Morbius.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, this movie, man. Is it even a movie? It's nothing happens. It's just characters talking. Then they talk to someone else. Then they run away from these weird ass like Slender Man rip-off monsters that are like all white, just like completely blank. It's so weird. The girl from Game of Thrones is in here. The guy from Stranger Things is in here. Both good actors in their own right. But yeah, once again, they're given nothing to work with this script. I can't believe I'm saying that it's worse than X-Men Dark Phoenix, but it is. It is.
What?
Yep.
What?
By a small margin, because I know Dark Phoenix is an absolute dumpster fire of a movie. But I think that's mainly because I saw Dark Phoenix when it came out at the beginning of the year, and this one is like fresher in my mind with how terrible it is. Yeah, New Mutants, man, what a disappointment. It looked so good.
Yeah, big rip.
Yeah, X-Men just needs to be let needs to let it die now. Hugh Jackman has left as Wolverine, so there's basically nothing keeping me here anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that just reminded me. We need to do Logan as well.
Yeah, we will do Logan at some point as well.
God,
I don't count that as an X-Men movie because it's
no,
actually good.
It's too good. It's too good to be an X-Men. It's so, like, who would have thought?
Yeah.
Like, X-Men Origins? Remember that shit show?
Oh god.
How the fuck did they come back from that?
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, we're gushing too much. We're on the shit ones.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, we've already talked about this. Bloodshot.
Yeah.
Boring as fuck.
So boring.
Yeah, exactly. We've already talked about it.
Yeah.
On to fantasy. I think we've got the same for this one. I think I know this.
Mine is the adaptation of a book series I have never read.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I have to say that I hated it.
Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah, it's bad. Artemis Fowell. Jesus Christ. Disney Plus original movie. Why did they think that was a good idea? It has the budget of about $1, and it shows, man. Yeah. Oh my god. It makes me angry that a movie like this exists. Because I'm actually okay with fantasy. Like, I don't hate it, but I would, I don't really care about it. But this is so bad. This is like turns me off from fantasy as a whole, because it tries to engulf like all fantasy stuff, like with elves and fairies and orcs and stuff like that. But it just ruins them all. I hated every moment of this movie, and it's and it's quite long as well. It's like 1 hour 45 or 1 hour 50, and it's like, why? The acting is so bad as well. Like, the guy who voices Olaf is in it, and I think he's a dwarf, but he's a big dwarf, so he's essentially just a human, but he calls himself a big dwarf. Oh my god.
War.
Yeah, no.
I thought that fucking ASDF movie joke where he just looks to the guy and just says, "I'm a very tall midget."
Yes, when you compare what was supposed to be a big budget cinema release to an ASDF movie joke, you've messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, Artemis Fowell, fucking sucks.
I can't even. Definitely the worst. I would say this is the worst film of 2020 for me in general.
Yep.
Yeah. God damn.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay, on to my second bad one. It's gonna throw everyone off. Probably haven't even heard of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it anyway. 4 Kids and It.
Nope. Never. Oh, I've heard of it.
Jacqueline Wilson book.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Know absolutely nothing about it.
It is god awful. This 2020 remake.
Oh god.
I'm trying to. So, the original story is good. Like, I like the premise where these like snobby kids are met with this pretty much genie
Right.
that can grant one person a wish a day.
Not Will Smith though.
No.
Unfortunately.
But the thing is, with this one, it's with the wishes, they're always morphed and will bite you in the ass sooner or later. Where it's like, one of the kids wishes, "I want to fly."
Yeah.
So he gives him the wish. He flies. But then the problem stands. They can't get down. And the best part is, the wish expires after a day. So if you can't get down and the wish expires, you're going to fall to your death.
Oh my god. Wait,
And
so
so
then
you're-
just like continuously rise.
Pretty much.
Okay.
They can control themselves in the air, but they can't control themselves downwards.
Yeah.
They can't propel enough force.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do that, and I like that premise. It's just them like realizing that they should be happy with what they've already got, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty much doing that. Yeah. And the original was 5 children in it from the 2004 movie. It wasn't the best. I know that. It's a 2005 movie, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. It's like it's a bit of a classic. It's called 5 Children in It, and the remake is called 4 Kids and It.
Oh
Very,
my God.
very like original and very on the nose of being. Oh, we're hip now because we're doing kids instead of children.
Ugh. Yeah.
They completely went very different with the design of the It. I hate him so much. He's fat. He's got big ears, and he looks like my granddad after getting out of a bath.
Oh God.
It's disgusting, and it's like really got an uncanny fucking face on. It's like a human ass face, but he's got like it's like a monkey mixed with a man.
Ew.
It's disgusting, and the OG one has like this way more mythological look to him, which I like how it looks. But this one, it's garbage. It's straight up garbage. Like the way that they handle all like the wishes. Some of the wishes don't even fucking make any sense of how it work. It's disgusting. It's really on the nose. It's really like it's made for kids to put on so they're like distracted for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
No, this is like below Scoop.
Oh God, really?
The quality is awful. It's child acting, and it isn't good child acting. You know, because good child acting is rare, but it can be there.
Yeah.
There is none.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Not even the adults do well in this one.
Yeah.
It's shocking. Like this on IMDb has a 5. The 2004 has a 5.5. So how do you do worse than a fucking 2004 movie? How do you do worse than that?
Oh, dear.
I just have so much hate for this goddamn movie.
Yeah.
And it's not even for my age demographic. Also, this isn't a TV series. I will preface, this isn't a TV series because that looked a lot better of like ratings wise. I'm talking about the older movie, which is also decently bad, but you know, it's nostalgic.
Yeah.
But this I can't even handle. Like, there's like, why? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, and this came out of the blue, but don't bother. Like, don't put this on for your kid. It won't even satisfy them.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so that brings to a close the best and worst movies of 2020, and that brings to an end our 2020 year in review. It's been an unprecedented year. Many of us have been, all of us pretty much have been stuck inside with not much to do, and it shows especially with video games. I feel like it's been a good year for anime, a good year for video games, but an awful year for movies. And let's hope it goes a different way in 2021, and we will be seeing whether or not that's true in our 2021 looking forward. So our 2021 predictions, which will be up next week, next Sunday, of course, every Sunday. So this episode is looking back. Next episode will be looking forward. Hopefully we'll be on a little bit of a more optimistic note.
But that's not going to help ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Weeb Couch, episode 7. As always, I've been Mason. And that's been Dan. And we hope you've taken something away from this. I know we've sort of blasted through a lot. This has been a long one. We won't have a new segment this week because of the length. It will just drag on. And yeah, I hope you have a good week. I hope you don't let this year get you down too much. It's almost over. And we will be seeing you in the new year. So, until then, obviously, make sure to like and subscribe, share the video, leave a comment, email us, Instagram us, whatever you want us to cover next episode. And if there's anything in particular that's coming out in 2021 that you want us to touch on, anything you're excited for, or even anything you're not excited for, if you think it's going to look like garbage, tell us anyway.
Be funny.
Yeah, it'd be funny. So yeah, as always, the episode artwork is done by Dan himself. Amazing art. His art Instagram is down in the description. Make sure to give that a look, give it a follow. And until then, have a good week. This has been the Weeb Couch saying goodbye.
Merry Christmas, bitches.